right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into The Critical Drinker.
Yeah,
You guys sent in a ton of reviews and essays.
a lot of content.
Yeah, like this guy is prolific, and he's got like 2 million subscribers on YouTube, so he's clearly doing something. Right.
Yeah, he's definitely struck a nerve. And I think what's so interesting about The Critical Drinker is that he's articulated this feeling that a lot of moviegoers have had for a while now,
Okay.
which is the sense that Hollywood might be shifting away from good storytelling and more towards just pushing a message.
Yeah, like message over storytelling.
Exactly.
He uses that phrase a lot.
He does.
And you can see it in like his review of Damsel, that Netflix movie.
Right.
He just tears it apart.
Yeah.
For being this like really preachy girl boss kind of fantasy that forgets to actually tell a good story.
Yeah, and it's not just Damsel, right? He's got like a whole laundry list of these movies.
Oh, yeah.
Where he sees this pattern repeat.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. He talks
Center
about
planning, like this iconic character.
Yeah.
To make way for, you know, what they would call like a strong female character.
Right, right. And it's interesting because he's not just like disliking these movies on like a surface level.
Yeah.
He's actually offering like a deeper critique of what he sees as like a worrying trend in filmmaking in general.
Interesting.
This idea that Hollywood might be more concerned with social engineering than with actually entertaining audiences.
It's like they're trying to re-educate us
In a way.
through our entertainment.
Yeah.
And he even calls it like,
He's got a name for it.
yeah, what does he call it?
He calls it the Panderverse.
The Panderverse, yes.
Taking inspiration from that South Park special
Yeah.
about Disney and everything.
Yeah. He's basically saying that so many movies and shows now are so obsessed with checking off these diversity boxes
Right.
that they've forgotten how to actually tell a compelling story.
And that's where it gets really tricky because he's not against diversity on screen at all.
No.
In fact, he praises movies like Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse,
Right.
where Miles Morales is this well-developed, engaging character who just happens to be a person of color.
Right. It's like you can have diversity
Absolutely.
and a good story.
Yeah.
It's not an either.
Exactly.
But then you look at something like the live-action Peter Pan and Wendy,
Yeah.
where they renamed the Lost Boys to the Lost Individuals.
Oh, yeah.
And it just feels so forced.
It feels so clunky, and it almost feels like it's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like, is this actually beneficial, or is it actually doing more harm than good
Yeah.
by just reducing representation to, like, a checklist?
It's a good question.
It is.
And it makes you think, like, what is the impact on the storytelling
Okay.
when you're so focused on that kind of thing?
Exactly.
And this kind of leads into another big thing that he talks about, which is the portrayal of men
Right.
in a post-#MeToo Hollywood.
Yeah, especially, like, the past 5 years or so, it's
Yeah.
been a noticeable shift. It's almost like there's this fear of portraying men in any way that could be misconstrued as, like, toxic or problematic.
So then they overcorrect.
Exactly, and you end up with these really one-dimensional characters.
Yeah, it's like they're either the butt of the joke
Right.
or they're just like completely incompetent.
Yeah, or the villain.
Or the villain, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's no in-between anymore.
No nuance.
Yeah.
And you see this a lot with, like, the whole strong female character trope, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting because, like, on the surface, you think, okay, strong female characters, that's a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
But he makes this point that a lot of times the way it's done actually ends up being detrimental to the characters themselves.
How so?
Well, it's like they're so afraid of showing any weakness,
Mm.
any vulnerability, that they end up stripping these characters of their humanity.
Yeah, they're almost like superheroes.
Exactly.
They never fail.
They're infallible.
Right. And they always make the right decision.
And it makes them kind of boring to watch, honestly.
Right, because like where's the character arc?
Exactly.
Where's the growth?
It's like they just show up fully formed and perfect.
And they can like take down a dude twice their size in a fight.
Oh, yeah, he's got a whole thing about the fight scenes.
Right.
It's like physics goes out the window.
Yeah, like I'm all for like empowering female characters, but
Work couture.
when you have like this tiny little actress
Yeah.
just like effortlessly tossing around these giant dudes, it takes me out of the movie.
It just becomes comical.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
Yeah, it undermines the entire premise.
And don't even get him started on the Tomb Raider reboot.
Oh, God.
He was not a fan.
No, he was not.
Like, I think he actually liked the video games.
Yeah, he's a fan of the original game.
But the movie.
He hated what they did to Lara Croft.
Yeah, they took this like really capable
Yeah, yeah.
adventurer and turned her into this like kind of mopey emotionally fragile mess.
It's like they were trying to make her more relatable or
Oh, I
something,
don't know.
but it backfired.
Yeah, because like part of what made her so cool was that she was tough.
She was.
She could handle herself.
Exactly.
She didn't need rescuing.
She was resourceful, she was independent,
Right.
and they kind of took that away from her.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to fit her into this like preconceived mold of what a female character should be.
Right, instead of just letting her be Lara Croft,
Yeah,
which is a shame
it is a shame.
because she was such a great character.
So what does he think is the solution here?
Well, I think for him, it's about going back to basics.
Okay.
It's about remembering that characters are more compelling when they're flawed,
Okay.
when they have weaknesses, when they make mistakes.
Interesting.
And that's true for both male and female characters.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's about creating well-rounded individuals,
Right.
not just trying to score points or push an agenda.
So it's not about like avoiding certain themes or characters or anything like that.
No, not at all.
It's about how you approach it.
Exactly. It's about nuance. It's about subtlety.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So how does he feel about the multiverse?
Oh, boy.
Because that's everywhere these days.
It's everywhere, and he's not a fan.
Yeah, the multiverse, he calls it the multiverse of madness,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty accurate
I think so, too.
because it's like every movie and TV show now feels the need to shoehorn it in.
Yeah, it's like the go-to solution for everything.
It's like they ran out of ideas, so they're just like, all right, multiverse it is.
And what's funny is he actually does a really good job of explaining why it's such a problem,
Yeah, he breaks it down.
like from a storytelling perspective.
Exactly. Like, it's not just that he's sick of hearing about the multiverse.
Right.
Although I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah,
But he argues that it actually undermines the stakes of the story.
because if anyone can die and come back.
Exactly. Death means nothing.
Right.
And if characters can just hop between different realities whenever it's convenient,
Right, like what's the point?
yeah, the tension is gone.
It's like watching a video game with infinite life.
Like, yeah, just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is he compares it to how alternate realities were used, like back in the day.
Okay. Like in classic Star Trek or Red Dwarf episodes,
Yeah.
they would do these like standalone multiverse type stories,
Right.
but they were always like really well done.
They were.
And they used the concept sparingly. It's like a special treat.
Yeah, not like a crutch.
Exactly.
So where does this leave us? We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we've gone through the pandaverse, the demonization of men, the whole strong female character thing, the multiverse.
Yeah, like it seems like the critical drinker has a problem with like everything Hollywood is putting out these days.
Well, I think it's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
I think he's just really passionate about storytelling,
Okay.
and he sees these trends as being detrimental to good storytelling.
Right. So it's not about like censorship or anything like that.
No, not at all. It's about encouraging better writing.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, and I think that's what resonates with so many people.
Yeah, because like you said, he's got 2 million subscribers.
He's clearly struck a nerve.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think is the takeaway here?
I think the takeaway is that we need to be more critical consumers of media.
Oh,
We can't just passively consume whatever Hollywood throws at us.
so it's not enough to just be entertained.
No, we need to think about the messages that are being presented to us.
And how those messages might be affecting us.
Exactly. And I think the critical drinker has given us a lot to think about.
I agree.
He's given us the tools to analyze these movies and shows in a more critical way.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing.
Well said.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, this was a good one. And for all of you listening out there, keep those reviews and essays coming, and we'll keep doing these deep dives.
Absolutely. And let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah. Do you agree with the critical drinker, or do you think he's full of it? We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Until next time, happy watching, everyone.
See you later.